Welcome, everybody, to Real Fun Times with the Doctor. That's me.
And Snowy, that's me.
And boy, oh boy, am I excited. It is here.
Yes.
The
folks.
much anticipated Shark Week month.
Boom.
And before we do anything further, got to do a quick shout out. Did you fucking love that intro?
We love the shit out of that intro.
If you could have seen us literally jamming to it.
It's so good. It's so painfully good.
Broke a sweat dancing.
And the whole time, like, we're listening to it, like, we're both like, it's just so good. It's so good.
Good. So a huge thank you to that old school ghoul. And we're going to give you info on how to follow him on the Instagrams.
Yes. It's our buddy Michael. He has been so good to us. What else did he do
You
for
guys
us?
know him from our outro.
Yes. And he is so talented. He's also part of this garage surf horror band called the Burial Ghouls.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
I literally came across them randomly one day, and I was like, it said like NC garage surf, horror. I was like, I don't know what that means.
Say what?
And I started listening, and I became so obsessed. They're so talented.
Instant fan.
Yeah. And he's been so kind to us, and just, yeah, like, they rule. Please check them out. Like I said, that old school ghoul _ all in between, or please do both. The Burial Ghouls, which is their band. They're so rad. They're so awesome. And
check it all out.
Yeah.
You're going to fucking love it.
Yeah.
But I have been anticipating Shark Week month for a minute.
It has been something that we have thought about, and
Probably since the inception of the fucking podcast, to be honest.
Because we said before, we even thought about doing just a bad shark movie podcast. That was going to be our whole premise. And we could 100% make a podcast out of that.
I think we could.
But we wanted a little bit more diversity.
Yeah, we didn't want to exclude any non-shark fans.
Right.
Whoever you may be.
Get
but
out.
Before we go much further, I've got a real fun fact for you, Snowy.
Do you?
I do.
I'd love to hear it.
I'd love to share it. Sharks are so badass. Do you know how badass they are?
How badass are they?
They are so badass that their embryos are known to attack one another. The largest embryo in a shark litter is known to eat its fellow embryos in an act known as intrauterine cannibalism.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right? Those fuckers don't play. So researchers looked at this phenomenon in sand sharks specifically, noting that while 12 litter mates may start out on the journey, all but one is devoured. The strategy allows the sand tiger sharks to have a much larger baby. So it comes out all badass, like, you can't fuck
So it's
with me.
like really quick evolution.
Super fast. Mega evolution.
That is horrific and awesome.
Isn't that
All at
crazy?
once.
I did not know that.
No,
I guess I don't know a lot about sharks. I just love shark movies.
Same.
So I guess my knowledge is pretty limited.
I know a fair amount about sharks because I'm terrified of them. So I like to feed my fear because of shark movies. But I also have some real fun shark facts for you.
What you got?
Did you know that sharks have no bones?
No.
They have something called cartilaginous tissues. And it can still...
Is that why it's so agile?
Well, that's part of it. That and the big-ass liver cause it to be so buoyant. But they can still fossilize because something will do these... Like, as they get older, there's something that like makes these calcium deposits in the tissue. And that's how we can get fossils of them.
Crazy.
Also... You know, sharks have been around for a speculated 455 million years.
I did not know the number. I knew they were super old.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have guessed that. They're like from dinosaur times, right?
Yeah. Like
they're kind of a dinosaur.
Yeah. Because one of the last living.
Nothing can fuck with it.
Exactly.
Except us. Go human.
Ugh, the worst. And I guess the way you count the age of a shark is by the rings on its vertebrae, kind of like you do the rings on a tree.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I wonder what the oldest shark to be. You know what? We got a whole month to find out.
Whole month.
Hang tight, kiddos.
Please hold.
I'm going to bring you some more real fun facts. So I just want to talk everything shark.
Long story short, I watched Jaws as a little girl at the beach. Fucking petrified me. Kind of have an issue, honestly, to this day. I don't really get in the water. If I get like calf deep, I'm like, look at me go. My parents live on the river and they were like, yeah, you can swim in this. And I'm like, you're adorable. There's
Oh, wait, I'm swimming in that river.
I just can't. And so, my aunt was like, well, she had asked my dad, she's like, if I decided to go in the river, like what realistically is in there? And she's like, sharks, alligators, snakes. And he was like, there'll be some
Turtles.
trout. There'll be some other kind of fish. And then he mentioned, I don't know if he said mud puppy. That might be wrong. I don't know. But he said something. He's like, they're kind of big, but they won't hurt you. He goes, now I'll tell you, there are some eels in there.
Eels?
And I was like,
Christ.
And Auntie was like,
Auntie didn't go in there, right?
No.
Oh my God. I'm going to call Auntie right now.
Yeah. And she was like,
Don't go in
she's
there.
like, maybe I can get a float and float out there. She's like, I just don't know.
Do you know how easily a float overturns?
Right.
Let me
And
tell
there
you.
are- okay.
Jaws. 1, 2, 3, and the revenge.
And there are, literally 30 feet from my parents' pier, there are crab pots.
Right.
People have all kinds of crab pots out there. So, there's clearly,
Some
lots
crab.
of critters. It's just critters.
Pinchers.
Yeah.
That's no joke.
I don't like it. I don't care for it.
One's super big, but that's to attract the females.
Oh.
Did you know?
well,
Yeah,
real
they're
fun
like, look
facts.
at my big crab leg.
And they were like, oh,
it's
shit.
the biggest pincher you ever seen. Pinch, pinch.
She's like, let me back it up.
At least that's what I would say if I were a crab with a big pincher.
No.
Pinch, pinch. Oh man, so your fascination has been from childhood.
Always. Yeah, I can't. I don't remember a time when I wasn't aware of sharks, terrified of them,
Now, have you ever
and all of them.
not been terrified, and it's been like, could you ever, in any way, if safety was guaranteed beyond a shadow of a doubt,
No,
you would never put yourself in a situation
No.
like
like a shark cage.
yeah.
Absolutely not. No. Also, I wouldn't get to see any sharks because the water would be, how you say, doo-doo brown.
I was like, but what? Oh,
Like,
I was like, just don't go in that one then. Go to the
Don't-
clear part. You're the source of the brown.
Yeah, I'm the source of the brown. It's not pretty.
Yeah, I mean, I could see how it would be super cool and awesome to see
Right.
underwater stuff, like the fish,
The power, the beauty, yes.
and the coral, and
Oh, beautiful.
and,
Yeah.
the sea turtles,
Mhm.
majestically swimming by. But nah, I'm not
Nah, bro, I'm out.
fascinated or interested in any shark. Like, to me, it stirs such deep terror.
Mhm.
Like, there's such a machine of fucking death
Truly.
that there's just, I have no chance. Some things I could fight off, or I would at least try.
Right.
But if it's me and Jaws, I'm done.
You're donezo.
I am done.
You were donezo, bro.
Yeah. I'm a terrible swimmer.
Yeah,
and they're real good in the water.
A little bit. They've got some skills. Yeah, so when did your shark fascination begin?
I would say similar. When I was young, I saw Jaws, super young, like too young, and immediately created an unhealthy terror of sharks and water. So not great, but there's something about tapping into that fear, specifically for me with sharks. Like, it's an adrenaline that, like, I rarely go in a movie, even if it's horror. Like,
Right.
I'll be shocked or scared, jump scared. But something about sharks just really taps into my lizard brain of like, fucking, this is the apex predator that
Yeah.
I'm most fearful of. I feel like some apex predators, like a lion, you could look at a lion and it has sweet little face
And
and
then it has little toe
eyes. And
pads.
it's like, yeah, it's
Aw.
licking its
Yeah.
toe. And like, it's, you can find sweetness in that.
Right.
Or even a fucking bear. If it's not angry, you're like, "Rah." It's like eating a berry. Like,
Sidebar, my dad said he saw a bear and the two cutest cubs he's ever seen the other
oh,
day.
yeah? I bet
Yeah.
he sees them quite
Oh,
frequently.
yeah, he sees bears all the time.
Yeah.
But he said the bear, like the cubs were real little and they were just like clumsy and
Oh,
adorable.
God, I want to hug it.
Mama bear would not like
Don't
that.
hug it.
Don't hug it.
Don't hug it.
Don't hug it.
That could be a t-shirt. But with like a
Post
thumb,
COVID.
like a kid with his arms like outstretched, like just a stick figure. Like,
Don't hug it.
But yeah,
Trademarked.
there's something about a shark's dead soulless eyes.
Yeah.
That is, and their constant open like conveyor belt of razor sharp
Gnashing
teeth that are not like like in a nice like a cow row.
Cow row.
They have nice teeth.
You've seen all the
but these
pictures
are-
where people do the sharks, but they do with like really straight, like hilarious, gigantic teeth.
I have seen
And
those.
those crack me up every time. Love
Fantastic.
it.
We should put that on a social needs. I
I'll
will
do it.
giggle hard.
So obviously we're here to talk movies.
Absolutely. This is your favorite movie podcast.
That's what all the kids say. But rather than talk about some of the awesomely bad today, which we'll get into, we want to talk about some of our all-time favorite, like the actual, like the really
What we
good.
consider good fucking shark movies.
Yes.
Now, I will say that for me, a good shark movie is bittersweet because what I would say puts that in that category for me. One of the elements is that it takes itself seriously.
Hmm.
Like this could happen, or a lot of it has been
Has
based on
happened,
true
right.
events. So that part of me that part is just like, oh, like it really the fear and like that intensifies in a way. It's like good but bad. Where like the silly ones, it's just like it's fun. You
Right.
can kick back in a Sharknado
It's
and like
so
Sharknado.
ridiculous, right.
You can't kick back in like an open water.
No.
Okay, well, I tried to do a top 3.
Okay.
So I'll start at the number 3 spot, which I had a really hard time because I've been devouring shark movies for the last several weeks.
You've been on it, right.
It's all very fresh. The third spot for me is a tie between The Shallows
Mhm.
and the first 47 meters down.
Both great movies.
The Shallows, I found myself saying, what is wrong with this fucking shark? So many times. I was like, leave that girl alone, shark.
Yeah.
And at one point, because I was like, what is up with this guy? I mean, like, with the silly ones, there's no rhyme or reason. It's just you're there for the
Mhm.
thrills. But like if a thing is supposed to be near reality, it's like, what is this shark's fucking deal? I know it's hungry, but it ate 5 people. So like it can't be
It can't
that
be hungry, right.
And then in the middle of the movie, the chick, was it?
Blake
She's
Lively.
married to Ryan Reynolds, I
Blake
think?
Lively.
She's like, yeah, I really fucked up when I swam up onto this whale carcass because it's really pissed that I'm in its territory. It's not being an asshole, ironically enough. It's being a normal shark.
Yeah.
And when she said that, I felt even angrier. I was like, look, shark, a human girl's obviously not trying
She
to
doesn't
eat
want to
this
infringe
whale.
on your whale. Like,
Leave her the fuck alone. But I will say for that one, the ending seemed a little
yeah.
like because he could swim. I guess the idea is he so wants to get her and he's swimming so hard down that what I mean, my mind says if she can evade the pipes, he can evade the pipes. He's a sea creature. He swims good. But it was fun. I liked it, and I was at the same time like, little weak sauce there, but
Right.
I have to end the movie at some point.
Yeah. Can't keep going on forever.
Right. And then 47 meters.
I was surprised by how much I liked that movie.
Mm-hmm. I thought really well made. Really well made. The pacing was great. The part that broke me was when she's hallucinating at the end and you realize
That she's
oh shit, her sister's really gone. She's fucking fucked. I thought the exasperation of being, because she's new to it, right? The
Mhm.
Mandy Moore character, she doesn't fucking know. But like to be at the bottom of the ocean in a cage and like your air's running out, like it was all such a perfect little recipe for
Yeah.
me. They did it so well. And to me, a gorgeous fucking shot. Gorgeous fucking shot when she's in the middle of the hallucination and she rips open the flare.
And all those sharks are
The
there.
underbelly of the sharks as their jaws are
Oh my-
completely about to chomp down. On them.
Horrifying.
The production value of that scene alone, I was like, to the whale, take all my money. But in the end, I was like, well, wait, is she hallucinating this? Am I hallucinating? Who's hallucinating?
Right.
Am I the shark? But yeah, that's number 3 slot for me. How about you?
My number 3 slot. Here's the thing. It's Jaws 3.
Okay.
Now, I think part of me has a nostalgia attachment to it.
Sure.
I know that movie front and back. I just love that movie. I love that it takes place in a SeaWorld type, which are awful, by the way.
Have you ever been to SeaWorld?
No.
Neither have I.
No, and after seeing Blackfish, I
Never
will
will.
never
No.
ever.
But as a kid, your parents
Oh,
take
yeah.
you to these fucking...
I'm sure, yeah, I get it.
I've been to Alligator Adventure. Not super proud of that.
And I'm going to go again, because I love Alligator
I do love
Adventure.
that albino alligator, though.
I like the one that
It's
has
so cool.
that has no tail, and like it just has like this little boop boop butt. But it's, you've got Lou Gossett Jr. is this prick of an owner. It obviously you get to see Chief Brody's grown sons,
Mhm.
how one of them is terrified of water, one of them makes his living in the water.
At SeaWorld.
Yeah. And
Dennis Quaid, right?
Yeah, Dennis Quaid.
Young Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, young, just super handsome. A young Leah Thompson.
That's right. And who's the blonde? Was she on ER? Is that where
She
was super
may
big?
have been. Was she on that stupid show, Seventh Heaven?
Maybe.
Seventh Heaven.
That pastor guy is
He's a creeper.
He's bad.
Yeah.
we don't like that.
Yeah, we don't. And I don't want to talk too much about it since we have plans for that film.
That's right.
I love everything about it. I think it's so much fun. It has gore. It has laughs.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, it really does. And
well,
so,
let me ask you this: since we're have plans for that one,
Mhm.
would you have a runner up for number 3?
a runner up. Honestly, it would probably be 47 meters.
Original.
Mm-hmm. And
What did you really like about that one?
47 meters?
Mhm.
I thought it was a great concept. I
Mhm.
thought it was original, and I think that's very hard to do in shark movies.
Now we're not going to go on this ship, but let's pretend we're these sisters. Just looking at the ship alone.
No,
would
I'm
you
gonna stay
not
on
run
land
the
and drink
fuck
margs.
out
You
of
have a
there?
great time.
It really broke
I'm
my
gonna have
heart
myself some Coco Loco.
that the
and-
sister kept like encouraging her, but kind of manipulating her.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, like.
But yeah, I'm gonna take let's say I'll fucking do it if we go to a legit one. It's super profesh. no chums. And like I'm in and out. Like not even 5 minutes. I don't even want to look at my respirator thing. It's like that's how fast I'm gonna be in there.
That's another part of me not wanting to do the underwater thing. The thought of the not breathing normally and through the
It's so claustrophobic, isn't
it
it?
is, and I've got a bad claustrophobia thing, so like that to me is another reason in and of itself that I couldn't do it.
I felt very sympathetic for the Mandy Moore character for that reason. The sister was experienced with it. She was like, chill. I'm like, I'll teach you. Okay, maybe you can teach me over several weeks or months, not 5 minutes prior to us jumping into this fucking cage.
Yeah, like
And it was so rickety, that boat. In the cage. Oh, man.
What's your number 2 slot?
Number 2 is going to Jaws, the original. Yeah, I fucking love that movie. It's great. I mean, it's hard to talk too much about it because it's
What
all
can
been
you say,
said.
right?
It's all been said. It's a genius story, genius casting, genius fucking pacing. Even with the fucked up janky shark, it's still it.
Well, what's so crazy about Jaws' brilliance is because so many things were fuck ups. I mean, the fact that the shark didn't work, the shark that weighed over a ton didn't work.
I didn't know it weighed over a
ton.
Sure, it's huge.
Bruce
I just
weighed a
assumed
ton.
it was
There
empty
were 3 of them.
inside, and
No.
that it was just kind of buoyant, like it was.
That was
full
one of the problems
foam
is
or
that it wasn't
whatever.
buoyant. That was one of the problems.
Well, yeah, if
fact
it's
that
over
they
a
were-
goddamn ton.
They were going to film in Nantucket, and because of bad weather, they ended up filming in Martha's Vineyard.
Right, which I love it.
I mean, it was perfect.
It was
It
perfect.
was amazing.
We recently rewatched Jaws. I feel like less than a month ago. It
Yeah,
feels like
in the past few weeks, yeah.
And I was blown away with it again. I feel like I couldn't stop saying, awesome shot. Beautiful.
You did. You're like, look at that. And I was like, uh-huh.
It's just so geniusly well balanced. There's so much fun, but terror. That fucking monologue that fucking dude does.
Quint.
Oh my God.
Robert
dude.
Shaw.
And I didn't know he was half in the bag in the entire movie.
Mhm.
And maybe even in that monologue.
And that monologue's based on a true story. And
look in his eye. That you could feel everything he was saying. Like you were in that fucking water with him.
but we delivered the bomb.
That's good fucking shit.
It is. It's so good. So I decided to look up the ratings on Jaws on what we always go off of for our movies. Just to show you kind of the differentiation between.
Beautiful.
So on IMDb, 8 out of 10.
Wow. Already 5 full points above anything we've done.
Yeah. Metacritic, 87, which is
That's way
Metacritic's
above anything.
Rotten Tomatoes, 98%.
Wow.
It's damn near perfect.
Damn near.
Another thing that helped Jaws is that it wasn't supposed to come out in the summer, but because of they had so many problems and had to keep pushing back shooting and do this, it ended up it was supposed to have like a Christmas release.
Jaws is Spielberg.
Mm-hmm. One of his
early.
One of his first, if not his first.
Oh, a fucking Christmas Jaws. I don't think it would have done well.
It wouldn't have done as well, and so I think the
No.
fact that it came out in the summer, it was the perfect storm.
Sure.
So, I'd like to talk about my number 2 spot.
Okay, let's do that.
My number 2 spot is Deep Blue Sea. Deep Blue Sea is everything. I own it. I watch it minimum once a year. Usually there's always some friend in there that's like, I haven't seen Deep Blue Sea. I'm like, well, you
Stop
sit
everything.
the fuck down. Yeah. Which I have literally done with people. Our friend CJ, we introduced him to it. Was it last summer?
Yes, it was.
And he was like supposed to go hang out with somebody else. And he was like, I'm going to bed early. And I texted him.
And because we did that recent watch, I will say right now, it's the only reason it's not in our Shark Week month.
I actually rewatched it this past weekend.
Yeah.
Or a week and a half ago, yeah.
But uh, because of our format, we like to keep it
Keep it
fresh.
Exciting.
Spicy. And so I'm looking forward to this being on the pod
Yes.
eventually.
Because that's such a special one, and I feel like you and I mean, my
Especially
God,
for us.
we have watched that movie umpteen times together
Mm-hmm.
over the years, and that
And
was
it never skips a beat.
ever.
I love it almost more each time. In fact, I see something new each time. And
Mhm.
I don't always do that with some of my most beloved films. The last time we watched that together, I noticed fucking that dude's giant dick. Skarsgård.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Papa Skarsgård's got a huge schlong.
Oh, have you never seen,
his schlong? No.
what is the
Have you?
yes, in, what is that movie? It's,
I don't know.
Lars,
Let me take note.
whatever.
Lars
What is it called
Giant-
when you wanna have sex all the time? It's, we keep on
Nymphomaniac?
yeah, the movie Nymphomaniac 1 and 2.
He's in that?
He's a nymphomaniac,
He's a
yeah.
nympho?
Mhm. He's in that, and
Okay.
and his
I'll log
he
that
pulls
away
his
for
giant dick
later.
out, and
I had never seen it. I had never thought about it. I had never glimpsed it. Like it never crossed my mind until this most recent viewing of Deep Blue Sea when I suddenly was like, hold the phone, pause.
you did. You were like,
Snowy.
skirt, like,
Do you see that dick? They found the cure.
it was the stunt double for the
It's
shark.
that Skarsgård dick.
That's what I'm gonna every time now. If I ever have it, there's a guy with a big Johnson. I'm gonna be like, look at that Skarsgård, dude.
He's got that Skarsgård. That ain't no joke.
That almost the cadence you said that was like an R&B jam. He got that Skarsgård.
Ladies.
But yeah, I cannot extol all the things I love about this movie enough. But I'm sure I'll probably have another opportunity to talk about it later in the podcast.
Real soon, I'd say. Because, shocker, that's my number one. Now, the reason...
Excellent number one.
The reason I flip-flop, because I'm assuming Jaws was...
How dare you assume anything about me?
Make an ass out of you and me.
You don't know my life.
I'm really good about that. I'm a professional. For me, because I have more fun with the silliness, like it helps me tap out of the terror.
That's fair. Okay.
It's more joy and like it's a more fun scare. I think when it comes down to it, I'm a flight. I'm not a fighter, I don't think.
Mhm.
I've never been pushed to that point, so I don't know. And I don't think maybe many people do know until you're there.
Right.
Whether you're gonna
Fight or flight, yeah.
And I think that the willpower to live, I mean, must be something. Because I feel like in any of these scenarios, I'm just gonna unplug and be like, bloop, 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 bloop. Like I will drown myself. I can't do this. I can't float out here in the open sea with no rescue, no boat, fucking things around. I can't see. Your legs just dangling. You don't know what's around. You can't see. They're right fucking there. All those new drone shots of like people unaware that they're literally like
In
inches
yeah,
away, not
with
feet.
all kinds of sharks. It's awful, and I kind of want to watch nothing but videos of that tonight.
Right?
I'm gonna order Mexican food and just watch shark drone videos.
Sharks everywhere.
Talk about hot girl shit.
That's how we do. So, Jaws was your number one. We talked about that. We talked about.
We didn't.
Did we not?
No.
Oh shit! Let's go to that then. I was thinking we talked about Jaws already,
Yes.
but we need to talk about it in the number one slot.
So the reason it is my number one, almost like number three, there is such a nostalgia thing attached to that for me. It was something that my parents and I watched so much when I was growing up. Post the whole, it petrifying me as a child. But it holds up. I used to date someone that was much younger than me, and them seeing it for the first time, they were like, "Oh, this is stupid. And doesn't." And I'm like,
No, really?
"Oh
That
yeah,
was the
yeah."
response
They
from the youth?
yeah, didn't like it. Was not a
Interesting.
fan. Um,
I wonder if it's just specific to that youth or if the youth in general, because of its older type of antiquated technology, if they don't feel like
and
it's
I think that's a lot of what it was. And I was like, but you don't understand how groundbreaking it was for its time. And CGI, animatronics, whatever that you have today aside, you cannot deny the fantastic storyline and the superb acting.
the acting on that film is a notch above the rest, easily. I would agree that we've seen plenty of shark films, and the stuff with the new technology, I
It's
think,
so
is
shitty.
laughable.
It is laughable. You're
If we
correct.
if we
Like,
go to ice sharks, for example,
ugh.
that was the very first thing we ever recorded, which unfortunately, because it was the first, it's the quality is shit, so we'll
Mhm.
never be able to release it, but we talk about it a lot. Those sharks are so
They're
asinine.
awful.
There's
Yeah.
no fear there, right? The fun of something like ice sharks and Sharknado is the campiness, right?
Exactly.
By the time I got to Sharknado 4, which I
You binged them
swallowed them
recently.
all
Yes.
whole.
She did
and
that to you too, fellas. Ew.
the the fact that they were putting NATO into everything. There was at one point a boulder NATO, there was a lightning NATO, there was I mean so many
Ridiculous.
NATOs, and it was just so dumb. There's no At that point the sharks are just, they may as well not be there.
Yeah.
But you never feel that in Jaws.
No, it's
And this isn't
always.
a crazy shark. This isn't some deep blue sea, super magnified. We
Mhm.
fucked with your brain and now you're going to kill us all and
No.
everything that lives.
It's just a shark living its
It's
life.
just a shark being a shark,
Mhm.
which happens everywhere all the time.
Want to hear a real fun fact
I
about
do.
Jaws? George Lucas got his head stuck inside Bruce's mouth.
His penis head
I'm gonna fuck this shark's mouth.
is so engorged.
I thought you'd like
Oh
that.
my, Bruce. That's great. Like a kid with the head in the bars. Like, oh no, I made a mistake.
Retreat, retreat.
Now, we were too young for any theater releases for Jaws.
Yeah,
Unless,
we
have you
weren't.
seen any type of
We weren't born.
um big theater, watch this in the theater
No, if
type?
they had it in the theater, I would
I
be
think they
there in
do,
a
but we
hot
haven't checked it out.
second.
We need to. Because
Yeah,
I would love to
like
see
the
that in the
Alamo or
theater.
something has something
Right?
like that. Yeah,
That'd be great theater experience for
yeah.
me. Now, any of your top three have we seen in the theater?
I'm pretty sure I saw Deep Blue Sea in the theater.
Me too. And it's a huge point of why it's number one in my heart always.
Mhm.
Not just the fact that it's deep blue motherfucking sea. The greatest shark movie ever made. When I went, I was in like New York, Manhattan. It was the middle of the day. I don't know why. I don't even remember why I was there. But this theater was full.
Nothing
I
matters but Deep
mean,
Blue Sea.
full. And they were so into it. This audience was so on board with what we were watching that it just made the experience magical.
Right.
Speaking of theaters, how do you feel about going back? You ready?
I think I am. I think I
What's going to
am.
push you? Are you excited for anything so far?
You know what? There were a couple horror movies that may have already come and gone. I will say the newest Conjuring movie I do want to see.
Not sure, because that series took a bit of a dive for me. The first one I was all
So
over it,
great. It was fantastic.
but the
Second one was
quality's
I.
waned. I'm kind of into A Quiet Place too. I
My
feel like that might be a fun theater experience. experience.
My only thing with that, and it was the reason I didn't see the first one in theaters, is because you can hear the audience from the other theaters sometimes, and you can hear, and
True,
because
true.
the whole thing
That's
is
gonna
it's
throw it a
quiet,
bit.
it's a quiet
It is
place,
quiet.
and that can
Twice.
kind of it's quiet 2 times. John Krasinski, I love you. I'm a lesbian, but I love you.
I love him.
Yeah,
I love his wife.
Emily
I think
Blunt's
they're
so
great.
yeah,
Fucking
they're
pair.
adorable. Like
Super, just perfect and awesome. I'm not the kind of person that loves to go to the theater for just any old movie.
mm-mm.
I need it to be a show. Like
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
it's
I'm the
too
same
fucking
way. I'm not gonna
expensive.
just go to the theater.
Back in the like $2 theater days,
That's
back in
different. The
hell
dollar
yeah,
theater. Hell yeah.
dollar, yo.
Yeah, that's different.
I don't see
Yeah.
everything. Whatever.
No,
I got
when
$2.
yeah, when it's literally like now a matinee's what, $12?
$12.
Like,
I'm not gonna
that's
eat
my
or drink.
D. Yeah.
Because that's another $12.
Yeah. If you want a beer, like that's gonna be $10
Easily.
for your Bud Light.
Yeah, right.
Like-
I just don't want it.
Exactly. I got a big purse. We can carry big things. Like,
Would you say that Yeti?
oh my God. One time I went to the theater with, I was on a date and we decided we were going to buy, you can get the unlimited refills, whatever on drinks. Like, we're going to get Dr. Pepper, and we took a fifth of Captain Morgan and drank the entire thing while we were there. We just kept going and getting refills of Dr. Pepper.
That's
And-
amazing. The last time I snuck alcohol into a theater, I was 15.
I was like 36.
was going to see Titanic. And
Yeah.
our friends and I stopped at an ABC store and waited to find a couple of gentlemen to buy us
Hey, mister. Yeah.
to buy us a fifth of Absolute vodka.
Mm.
We threw that shit into our little Coke Pepsi drinks. Near or far, wherever you are. I cried like a infant in that movie. Embarrassingly. Like,
We cried on the way home
was like
talking
a-
about it.
Me
It was just so good.
the old couple. The
Rid-
mom tucking in her kids.
Oh my God, telling the
fucking
story.
band is,
Ugh,
what were we talking
I don't
about?
know.
Movie theaters.
Theaters,
Right.
yes.
I am kind of looking forward to it, but I will say there's not a lot of movies right now that are like, I gotta see
No,
this fucking
HBO
shit.
Max is gonna get it. So
I'm really pampered that way. I love the idea of being able to just fucking be at home, throw
yeah.
your shit on the big screen,
Mm-hmm.
have whatever drinks and food you want, in
Yeah.
the comfort of
Be
your
laying
own
down on my
home.
couch, like
If I
stretched
gotta
out.
pee, I can pause it.
Not gonna miss anything.
Right,
I have to
right.
download the app that tells me when the best time to go to the bathroom during the movie is.
I would never do that. I'm gonna pee now.
Hope for the best.
Whenever the bladder says, that's when I go.
It controls me. I don't control it. So let's talk about the remainder of Shark Week month.
Yes, what are we gonna do?
We have got 3 movies that we are going to be watching. And I think maybe now let's talk about, like, I know what we're going to do last.
Yes, I know what's going on first.
What's going on first?
Sharknado number 6, which is called The Last Sharknado.
So we actually, fun fact about the Sharknado, we started those years ago together. We were
number
like,
1.
oh shit, like we ended up watching it. We thought it was so much
we
fun.
saw this premise and immediately
We were like on
I don't know, we were
board
texting. I don't know how this came about. We were like, we have to see this movie
immediately. We watched the first few together, and then we kind of like fell off, and then we watched the last couple separately, but neither one of us have seen 6.
No.
And actually, let's see, one year for Christmas, I think you got me a Sharknado calendar, and I got you the How to Survive a
still have it.
Sharknado and Other Natural Disasters book.
Right, which shows up in as a cameo in one of the
Yes,
latter
mhm.
episodes.
So yeah, so Sharknado 6 is going to
Sharknado
be
6 is going to be our next film
Mhm.
that we'll be checking out.
And then after that will be the movie Bait, which you have seen, I have not.
That's right. It's been a minute. In fact, Snowy and I had kind of like a throw it into the pail. Let's see what happens, because
Mhm.
we both had ideas of
Cards
what we
fall as they
wanted
may, right.
for the second one. And what was yours?
Shark Hunter.
Shark Hunter. Right. So we'll put that in the possible next Shark Week month. But this time bait won out.
It did. It did.
It's something about
The tsunami, right?
and people are stuck in a building, and then the sharks are there too.
Yes.
Super dumb and fun. It's nothing serious, but I loved it. And I cannot wait to watch it with you.
And then we are going to end the month with Jaws 3D.
Jaws 3D.
Which,
the pinnacle.
Yes.
We're both super excited. And I haven't seen Jaws 3D in a minute.
Because it's on HBO, and we watched Jaws like 1 and 2, right?
Yes, in preparation.
And then it has taken everything in me to not watch Jaws 3D like on my own, because I just love that movie so much.
I don't have HBO Max, but it's taken everything in me not to watch The Last Shark, which is the parody of Jaws that's on Prime, because I know that I want to watch that with you. But I've been tempted. I just want to take a quick little sneak.
I know.
What's going on there? It's such a blatant, terrible ripoff. The shark is so bad. The acting. I mean, we just saw the trailer and fell in love.
We definitely thought about doing that.
We wanted to put it in here, but there's just no room.
Yeah.
There's so many greats and so little time.
Yeah. Earlier before we went live with this, we were talking about it, and it was like, you know what, we're just gonna have like fuck Hot Girl Summer, we're gonna have Shark Week Summer.
That's it.
And just
all sharks all the time. Well, I'm fucking looking forward to it. And we actually took a little break, so it's been great coming back.
Yeah, it's been so nice hanging out. Like as soon as she came in today, like the dog lost her mind. She was like, Andrea!
This Minisode is probably a little choppy, but you know what? I'm going with it.
It's fine.
I'm into it.
You guys will love it.
I can't wait to Sharknado next week. Got a lot of Sharknado facts coming your way.
3 days.
I don't have any facts, but I just have so much Sharknado in my brain. We will talk about that soon. But anything else you want to cover in this mini?
I don't think so. I think we're pretty good. Yeah.
We love sharks.
Love sharks. Love shark movies.
And we're super stoked. Can't wait for you guys to join us next week.
Yes.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
We're going to do that.
They can do it at realfuntimespodcast@gmail.com or realfuntimespod.com. There's a contact us page, and just, send us some little kissy notes, some little I love yous.
Anything. We'd love to hear what shark movies you guys love, what shark movies you guys hate.
Holler at us on Facebook, rate us there, Apple, see us on Instagram.
Like, rate, review. You got to tell people.
Yeah.
Who are we going to tell this week?
Your local fishmonger.
That's awesome. You know what I want? Fish and chips.
Oh.
Tartar sauce.
Tartar.
All right, guys.
Till next time.
Have an awesome fucking week. We'll see you next time. And chomp chomp.
Deuces.
Thank you for listening to Real Fun Times, your favorite movie podcast.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Real Fun Times, REELFUNTIMES. Real Fun Times is produced by Drea Age, Rose Age, and Noelle Phelps. The thoughts and opinions expressed herein are solely those of the individual hosts, nobody else's. No one's.
Real Fun Times is not affiliated with or connected to any of the motion pictures, music, or other clips played within this podcast. All movie clips and music included in this podcast are the intellectual property of the respective copyright holders. They're included here for review purposes, and absolutely no infringement is intended.
And lastly, a tip of the hat and a sincere thank you to our friend, Autopsy Summer Camp, for our rad outro music. To hear more of his offerings and collaborations, check him out on Instagram at Autopsy Summer Camp.
I'm just not an adventurer. I'm such a ninny when it comes to anything adventurous. I'm like, knee pads?
Oh, we need those for, buddy.
Skateboarding.
Is that what you call it?
Going down the tube.
Tube steak.
YouTube tricks.
It's our new YouTube channel.
So many followers immediately.
It's our new OnlyFans. And by R, I mean Drea's, because I don't do that.
Stay tuned. I'll give you some codes.
20% off.
The first hour.
Are there webcam girls anymore?
I think there's a huge market for that still.
Really?
Yeah. But it's like evolved, right? Into like an OnlyFans type of scenario where you're get to interact and more of a level than just watching.
Huh.
But I don't know. I've been out of the scene.